Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Football Analytics. Today we're diving into the Serie A. I selected a few games for Saturday and Sunday. Hit the like button, support this channel, and let's roll. We got a huge matchup between Atalanta and Inter that can potentially decide the scudetto race. But let's begin with the Saturday one. Let's begin off two shitty teams, Monza and Parma, respectfully. Look, Monza is already relegated. They'll need to win about 7 out of the next 10 games to actually have a chance to stay in the Serie A. Parma, this is the game they really need to win because Monza is the worst team by far in the Serie A, and they concede most of the goals. Actually, those are the two teams. Oh no, Verona concedes the most. That's quite surprising. That's the first time I see it. I thought it was Monza. Verona usually has a solid defense. Apparently not this year. Okay, so Monza, as I said, they had a really good game against Inter. They finally scored. That was the far chart working. Look at that, because they haven't scored in a while. 3 games in a row, so that's why they were going to score against Inter. I called it last week. Inter came back. I'm a huge Inter fan, so thank God, because that would have been over for us if we didn't win that game. They scored 2 early goals. And now there's this little hype around Monza because they played so well. But let me tell you guys, all this hype around doesn't matter because I'm leaning towards taking Parma. They also have a streak of themselves going on. Look at that. 4 straight games without a victory, without a draw. So straight losses. They actually haven't won in a while. Yeah, only 1 point in the last 7 games in the Serie A. That's pretty bad. That's relegation level. And if Parma wants to stay, let's take a look at their schedule. Monza is a must win for them. So yeah, look at that. Their next 2 games, they'll have to get points here. But Monza is by far, guys, the worst team. And that's why I'm leaning towards taking Parma. Look, we can go 2 ways about this. I'll be taking this game live, just like I always do. Over 0.5 for Parma to score. Past the 16th minute, depends when the odds get closer to 2. Or if you have the betting website that has the over 1 bet, the current odds right now are at 160. So I'm taking this game live, over 0.5, odds closer to 2. And if they do score earlier, well, that's too bad. I just move on to the next game. And as I said, over 1 is currently at 160. That means if they score 1 goal, you get your money back. If they score 2, you win the bet. You only lose the bet if they don't score at all. But I don't think that's going to be happening against Monza. Now, Milan and Como, I hate talking about Milan, obviously. It's a disaster, guys. Even against Lecce, felt like another one. We had Milan, so we won the bet last week on Milan because they came back pretty crazy. That's what Milan does. Once they score 1 goal, they can score in bunches. And that's a team I love, taking past the 60th minute. Look at that beauty. If you're chasing higher odds, they do score a lot after right at the end because the majority of the games they're losing, so they have to. And so look at their streak so far. They won, but before that they had 3 losses in a row. So can they keep the momentum going? That's the most important thing. Como has been one of the most impressive teams in the Serie A under Fabregas, especially lately. They're playing really good ball. All eyes on them because they have a lot of talents in the team. Asana Diao actually is one of the guys that just I saw the news. He selected to play for Senegal instead of Spain. And they got Nico Path, obviously. And so can they score against Milan? The odds are currently 2 on Como. Milan's defense is pretty shit. Look, they concede in every single game. Look at all the BTTS. They played BTTS in 5 straight, but I'm leaning towards taking Milan here live again. Milan has to have 2 streaks. 2 games in a row that they're gonna win. They're still not out of the race for the European Cups. I can't believe I'm talking actually about Milan getting into the European Cups, not anymore the Champions League. Even though, look at this, there is a slight chance if they win out. Juve has 50, so they're 8 points away from the Champions League, but their target should be the Europa League. Looks like Italy is not going to be having 5 teams in the Champions League. So Milan have to put some wins together if they want to get there. Bologna has been doing amazing. Roma has been doing amazing. So they have to start winning games, and that's why my tip for you guys is to go with Milan over 1. The odds are really low. It's at 125, but the one I'm going to be taking once again, I'll keep mentioning it for the newcomers. I'm taking the games live, and I'm going to wait if Milan doesn't score past the 65th minute to grab odds 2 for a simple goal. And of course, it's better if Como scores. That means Milan is going to be scoring too. So yeah, my first 2 picks are going to be Parma goal and a Milan goal. Now let's roll on to Sunday. Huge, guys. Napoli needs to take advantage of this game because Atalanta and Inter are facing off the same day at night. And look at this. There's a far chart here. That's what I'm loving. That's what I'm loving from Napoli. Look at this, guys. 3 games in a row that they haven't won away. They won last game. I mean, we called it like the Serie A was almost perfect until the Juve game came up against Atalanta. I'm talking about the previous video. But look at that. They had a streak of now winning 5 games. They won against Fiorentina, and I believe they have to continue this streak right now. Venezia is one of the worst teams in the Serie A, even though that works for us, guys. They haven't lost in 3 straight games, and usually relegation type of teams don't go many consecutive games without losing. And that's why I'm leaning towards Napoli to go back-to-back finally and win some games and keep the race going with Inter and Atalanta for the scudetto. The odds are obviously just like Milan, over 1 goal is at 125, but we're going to chase the game live. That's what I'm going to do. I do believe Napoli is going to be scoring at least one. At least one. Venezia doesn't concede a lot. As you can see, they play a lot of low-scoring games, but that's why they're going to get at least 1 goal from Napoli, and maybe 2. So we're going for Napoli on this one. Okay, so to continue, Bologna and Lazio, guys, I'm really liking this game. I told you in the Europa League video, by the way, Europa League also went really well. You can check that out, the predictions for us. So I'm thinking maybe it's time to strike on Lazio here because they have 2 draws in a row. They didn't perform well in any of their last games, well, except the Milan one. The last 3, they've been really shaky. And look at Bologna's streak, guys. Look at all those W's. We need to catch a stinker from Bologna. We did that. Look at that. We caught a Bologna stinker. Should we do it again? This is a huge game for both sides because Lazio they still have an outside chance to get into the Champions League. Wow, they also haven't lost in a while. Let's go to the form. Hold on. Yeah, Bologna is second. 12 points on the last 5. I'm liking Lazio, guys, here, because the odds are also telling me that this is a good bet to take. Look at that. Bologna is the favorite 240 and Lazio odds are 325. Lazio over 1 is almost at 2. That's something I might consider taking. Right now it's at 195 exactly, but if it goes to 2, I'll take it before the game. I'm going to take over 1. But if the odds are lower than 2, I'm going to take this game live. I do believe that Lazio is going to be scoring 1 goal against Bologna because they haven't played well in a while. So I'm expecting them to have a bounce back game. And Bologna, they're going to have a stinker soon enough, especially at home. This streak right here is going to end for Bologna. Okay, yeah, so we're going with Lazio here, and the odds are good. Now, for Fiorentina and Juventus, this is an interesting one for both sides because the odds are pretty good straight up on Fiorentina with the way Juventus has been performing, especially against Atalanta. Look at that, they conceded 4 of them. Atalanta spanked them because Juve got all of a sudden in the scudetto conversation, and that's what happened. They're out of it right now. The most important thing for Juve now is to get into the top 4, get the Champions League money, because for Italian teams, it's all about money at the end of the day, not to go in debt because they're all in debt. And Juve especially spent a lot of money on the transfer market last summer, so they need to get into the top 4. Will we have a bounce back game from Juve? I hope so, because the odds right now are 160 on Juve for over 1, and that's the team I'm going to lean towards taking, especially live, to get odds closer to 2. Best for last, Atalanta Inter, one of the Scudetto games. There's only 10 games left. Okay, so once again, I want to mention I'm an Inter fan, guys, and this is a huge game for us. And the thing that really concerns me is that we've been playing really well against Atalanta lately. Look at the last 3 games. We spanked them 2-0, 4-0, 4-0. And actually we won. Wait, we won how many in a row? How many in a row? Damn. When was the last time Atalanta beat us? Oh man, this is bad. This is bad. I really, as an Inter fan, I really don't like this streak, guys. I'm gonna lean towards taking Atalanta here, especially with how well they performed against Juventus and the goal market, guys. No, it's just Inter's performed way too well against Atalanta. This really concerns me. I really hope we win this game, but we get an Atalanta goal. That will be a perfect scenario for both sides. So Atalanta market is at 155 for over 1. For Inter, it's at 158. I will take the goal market again live for Atalanta to score against Inter. Inter's been really shaky in defense the past month or so. Against Monza, we barely won. Obviously we went through against Feyenoord pretty easy, but Atalanta, they didn't have any cup games, so they rested like we didn't. They have few days extra in their legs, And this is a huge game for them. This could be a statement game. Guys, I'm leaning towards taking Atalanta here for the over 0.5 market after the 65th minute. But you can take the over 1 market for 155. But I do believe Atalanta is going to score at least one against Inter. Okay, so yeah, guys, that's going to be it. I'm gonna record today the La Liga and Premier League videos. So thanks for tuning in. Hit the thumbs up on this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.